At a GC talk after making Super Meat Boy, someone asked Ed if the crunch to get Super Meat Boy out for Xbox was worth it in order to have their crazy success. Ed, you said no. Since then, I would love to ask, have you found a happier path to your own personal satisfaction in game dev?
Yeah, I'm not unhappy in any way, shape, or form. I mean, I think that answer caught me in a time where it didn't feel like it was worth it. Looking back, I thought my answer was I don't know, and then maybe I said no. But
I just cut out the I knows from
But I mean, even and then looking back now, all that said and done, probably not.
It
probably wasn't worth it. But I mean, either way, like it got me to where I am. It needed to happen. It did happen. There's nothing I could do about it. I never have and or will put myself in that same situation again. The crunch wasn't us that was doing that. It was a company that was telling us we need to do it in order to get into a thing we didn't even get into, which was a promotion that they cut from us.
Golly.
And that's why it didn't feel like it was worth it, because it was a lot of killing ourselves for something that was promised that was taken away.
Wow. And
we didn't get to see anything. Everybody else got the promotion, but since we were the last game in this failed promotion, they just got the promotion and it didn't matter. And we could have released later.
Tyler, have you ever crunched like Ed did for Super Meat Boy, where you feel like it may have not been worth it?
Let's see. Well, for Closure was my first commercial project, and we put in a handful of all-nighters towards the end to try and submit it to the Sony cert for PlayStation 3, which, like, you know, all-nighters kind of suck. They're not fun. It wasn't good. I think what happened was I think the artist needed to pull an all-nighter, whereas I hadn't finished what I needed to do, and I just, in solidarity, pulled an all-nighter with him.
Right.
But, you know, that's not quite as comparable to what happened with the Meat Boy stuff. I don't know. I like working a lot. I feel good when I'm getting work done and being productive. I feel bad if I'm like sitting at my computer and being like, I got to get work done.
Yeah.
And then not getting work done. Like that's when I'm like, I need a break. But,
well, how many hours do you guys work a day? And, you know, maybe it's random, but I'm just curious what your schedule looks like.
I try to work from 8 to 4.
Okay. That's a lot different than what it was during the documentary, right?
Yeah. I mean, but I've got 2 children and a wife.
Yeah.
And I'm the only one who drives.
Got it.
So it's difficult.
It's amazing how a wife and kids, you're just not allowed to work whenever you want anymore, you know? And I think that's a good thing. I really do. I mean, I get downstairs at 5:30 every night. Not lately. Lately I've been burning the midnight oil, but typically, I'll get downstairs at 5:30 and the game dev switch has to turn off, you know, and you got to be on for your kids. What about you, Tyler?
I don't like pay attention to the hours that much. I just work when I'm feeling productive and try to stop when I'm not feeling productive. For a lot of Muse dev time, what that usually means is that there's a lot of days where I will start getting work done at like 11 or 12 in the morning and just work until dinner and then maybe come back in the evening or maybe not. There's also times like the last month where I'm reviewing these tooltips where I was, oh my God, this is like the worst day for me, where I like wake up, I sit down, I'm just reading tooltips and spreadsheets from like 10 in the morning until dinner, and then eat dinner and then come back, like play like one game of Counter-Strike and then go back in the spreadsheets until like 2 in the morning. And then I went to bed and I had one of those like Tetris effect type dreams, except I'm like scrolling through spreadsheets reading tooltips.
Yep.
Which is like, this has happened with like programming stuff before. If I'm working on like an unsolved like bug or whatever, and in that case, I can like solve bugs while I'm sleeping, like in the dreams, where I'll wake up and be like, I gotta go check that part of the code, and I'll check it. Oh, yeah, I can fix that bug there. Not the case when it's reviewing spreadsheets for grammar errors. There's nothing that I'm finding the next morning from that. And I'm like, okay, I can't work till 2 a.m. on this anymore. I gotta stop, and I gotta like like play some video game or watch some dumb shit on YouTube or something
Yeah.
instead of just
It's funny
work
you
to
bring that
bed.
up, Tyler, because I messaged Ed earlier today and I asked him if we could do the podcast another day because I was up till 12:30 last night or this morning, I guess, working on my game, and I could not sleep. I was solving problems, and I thought I was asleep, but I wasn't asleep. So I think I may have slept 2 hours last night, and so I'm definitely feeling it right now, but I don't know how to solve that. I think what you said, Tyler, is probably the only solution, which is just don't work till midnight. You got to shut it off eventually. Or you're just not going to sleep.
Yeah, you need like a barrier between when you stop working and when you like go to bed. I mean, I have them on playing certain types of video games as well.
Yeah.